Welcome, O Ramadan.
Radio Sultanate of Oman 90.4 and the Sultan Qaboos Center for Islamic Culture presents Reaching Out Through Dialogue. Listen and get involved. It is a great experience for you personally. It would really create a balance on each and every one of us in this holy month of Ramadan.
Stand up.
Reaching Out Through Dialogue, presented by Hatim Harif Al Abdussalam,
Charity.
directed by Matloob Ayel Al Wahabi. Reaching Out Through Dialogue, a special in this holy month of Ramadan, here on 90.4 FM. 90.4 FM.
For the pleasure of Allah.
Assalamu alaikum, dear listeners. Welcome to our program. I'm your host, Hatim Al Abdussalam. Our topic today is very interesting, and I hope you will all enjoy it. Today, we're going to talk about Islam and modern life. Our distinguished guest today is Mr. Ahmed Al-Mata'ani, who is a lecturer in one of the private colleges in Oman. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Ahmed. How are you?
Wa alaikum salam. How are you doing?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah. It's good to have you on the program.
It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
You're most welcome. Okay. We come across the term modern life almost on a daily basis, and somehow traditions and religions are segregated from modern life. Today, we intend to clarify this misconception. Now, let us start, with the definition of modern life.
Okay, first of all, modern life is a very complicated topic. And before talking about the definition of a modern life, I'd like to shed the light on some of the terms related to modern life. Let's start first of all to break down, the words, that we have in the term, which are modern and life. Now, if you just pick a dictionary, and you try to find the meaning of modern, the two common meanings that you find in the dictionary will be new or new in some other Englishes. And the other meaning is contemporary, Now, I want to, first of all, to clarify one thing here about this term, which is new or contemporary. We need to understand that not everything new is good. People can come up with a lot of new things, but in reality, they might not be beneficial or good for the society. So this is one thing that we have to understand, that modern doesn't carry all the time the positive meaning, could have also the negative side of that. Now, when it comes to the definition of modern life, I would say any change could happen to a society that could cover, the social aspect, the economic, aspect, the psychological aspect, name it. So any change, could be added to a period of time that we're living. We can call it a modern life. So any changes that we have in our life that would make our life look different.
So what you're trying to say, even technological advancement is considered to be modern life.
Exactly. This is one aspect, of the modern life. And we're going to also focus on that, later on when we talk about, the positive side of modern life. So these are actually, some of the terms that we need to understand before focusing on the topic in more details.
As we elaborated in the introduction that traditions and religions are segregated from modern life, could you elaborate on the phrase that says Islam is compatible for every time?
Well, this is a very, good point you have just raised, that we believe that, always there's a problem when we combine religion when it comes to advancement. That could include, any change in life. And we need to clarify that misconception to the audience and to the people who are listening to us, that there isn't such a thing. There's a segregation or a separation between religion and the tradition and the change in our life. They actually go along.
They go along.
And coming back to the topic or to the phrase, that you were talking about, Islam is suitable or compatible for every time. It's absolutely right. And actually, I'm not that much familiar with other religions, but I would assume that, other religions, okay, are encouraging or promoting for a change which could bring, a better life.
Okay.
So there isn't such a segregation. It's only the idea of limits and boundaries, okay, that control the process. But they go along. And actually, if I give you just, one example, we have in the Holy Quran a very clear invitation to, to do whatever we want, okay? And we need to do that, okay, with a kind of powerful weapon, which is knowledge.
Okay.
Which is another topic we will try to elaborate, in other sessions. So that explains that, religion does not stop any kind of a change or any kind of form of life that could bring prosperity and also a better life. Because this is the main goal of our life here.
Our life.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, normally, when we talk about modern life, we tend to use the West as an example. Do you agree with this?
Well,
as you've spent quite some time in the West.
Yeah.
How can you elaborate on this?
Well, I would, I agree with the statement, a little bit, because I had the chance to live in a Western culture or a Western country, which is America. And I can, declare to the world, America is a very modern life, a modern country, in terms of technology, style life, name it, just unbelievable. And they are doing a great job when it comes to promoting for their ideas. This is why, they are always on the picture.
Okay.
Okay. And they're trying to promote for such things. This is why, we all tend to use them as an example or role models.
Okay.
In terms of the changes and the advancement, happening in our life. Talking about my experience in the U.S., I had the chance to go for my master. Okay. I did everything, in a digital form, and which mean everything, computerized. Like I have to learn how to use technology in presenting my materials, my assignments, my projects, even in my social life, communicating with people, using the phone, for example. The use of the phone is just a very simple thing, okay? Could be, it could be, done by anybody, but, the offers, the technology involved in this kind of technologies, you'll feel that, these people are really doing a great job, okay? It doesn't mean that we are not, coping with that level, but maybe we need to do more promotion to show the people that we are also doing a great job. Okay. And, I can talk about, medicine, we might spend the whole day, talking about the changes that happening in the country, the equipment they're using, the tools that they're using in order to promote education, to promote medicine, to promote health. Just, it's unbelievable. I really had a great time, to know about the American culture.
So this is the good side about modern life, and
Exactly.
Actually there's prosperity for humanity.
Exactly.
When it comes to modern life. When you look at it,
Exactly.
it serves a lot of our purposes.
Exactly.
Okay.
First of all, I'm not trying to say that we always have a negative side, because at the beginning, I was talking about the positive meaning or the positive side and the negative side of modern life. But I want to just, to make it clear from the beginning, okay, that this is something that, has, two sides, okay, a positive side and a negative side. And, just to focus on that, maybe we can talk about, some of the aspects of modern life.
Okay. Yeah, we can get into that now. How does Islam view different aspects of modern life? In other words, can a good Muslim cope with a modern world?
Well, for sure. As far as I'm concerned, I guess, Islam made it very clear from the beginning that, whenever there is a chance for a change that could bring, prosperity to the world, to the humanity, regardless whether you're a Muslim or not a Muslim, okay, then it should not be a problem at all. There are a lot of aspects, in our daily life. Maybe I could just, choose, some or pick, some.
Okay.
Let's talk about, clothing or fashion. Okay, in my opinion, I don't think that there's a problem, okay, with Islam in changing, the fashion thing, okay, or having a new code of a dress, okay, as long as there is a kind of limit, okay, that goes with the teaching of Islam.
Okay. Can you elaborate more on that?
Now we've got, first of all, let me, talk about one example, okay, here in Oman. Now, maybe I should focus on this a little bit because, most of the audience might be, females, okay? So maybe we should talk about, ladies.
Don't get us into trouble.
Oh, no. Well, now we have different forms and design, for abaya, clock. And, it's amazing, how you see these forms of abayas, coming to the market, which is a good thing, as long as, it will reveal the culture and, make the person, look good. Okay. But sometimes, go to the other side of the story, which could not go, okay, with the traditions or with the teaching of Islam. Okay. So now we are having a problem, okay? So the idea of a change is good, but it should go along with the teaching of Islam. Even, the routine, we try to kill the routine. Okay. So even the way we dress, the way we talk. So if we can change that kind of code dress, okay, we tend to spread the culture in a very positive way. Okay.
So what you're trying to say is Islam is not against change.
No.
But it should be in the positive way and within the boundaries of the Islamic teachings.
Exactly.
Now, just to be fair, you gave an example of our sisters. What about the guys?
Well, even, we could also talk about, since, Omanis wear dishdashas, there's no harm in designing, the dishdasha in a different form. Okay. That could keep the identity of Omanis, because we have a different, design, or a unique, if you want to call it, a unique design. So there is no harm, I believe, in having a different, dishdasha, okay, that, could look different, so people, when they look at it, they will know this is part of the culture, and also promote, for the culture. Okay, and instead of, going for another option, which could represent a different culture.
The thing is, people are very welcoming when it comes to change. But when it has to do with the tradition side, they become very defensive. What do you think about that?
Well, it's a normal thing, You want to keep your identity, at the end of the day. But first of all, you have to be open-minded, okay, to different cultures. If there's something good that you can take from a different culture, then I don't think that there is a problem with that. Okay, we should, be defensive when it comes to something which could harm, the society. Something which might cause a damage to the society that we will regret in the future. So that's a normal feeling, It's not only here, it's not only in Oman, but everywhere, I would say.
Now, for sure, there are some negative aspects of modern life. What extent do you agree with that?
Well, I mean, Hatem, before we move to that one, could we just, add more examples? About,
please,
the first,
please
because, we want also to show the positive side of modern life.
Okay.
We don't want to show or just tell the people that we are doing that. But I guess, maybe we should talk about this, later on.
Then let us go for a short break, and then we can discuss this after the break.
Sure.
Welcome, O Ramadan.
You just heard Reaching Out Through Dialogue, a joint program of Radio Sultanate of Oman 90.4 and the Sultan Qaboos Center for Islamic Culture. Presented by Hatim Hatif Al Abdusalam. Directed by Matlub Ayal Al Wahabi.
It is Ramadan. Oh,
Now back to the program, Reaching Out Through Dialogue, presented by Hatem Harif Al Abdul Salam.
Welcome back, Ahmed.
Thank you.
Okay, now we'll just continue with the where we stopped regarding the aspects of modern life.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, coming back to the positive side of, modern life, we talked about, fashion as one aspect, because I guess, it's the time, people getting ready for Eid, so they're thinking about, clothes and getting, the best dresses, for the Eid. Anyway, so the second aspect, we could talk about is technology. Okay. Technology is one of the aspects of modern life. Without technology, you cannot call a society a modern society.
Okay.
And, just look around, and you'll see devices everywhere, starting from phone, radios, TVs, laptops, just name them. Okay, you find a lot of devices around us.
And
okay?
it's an essential part of our life
Exactly.
at this point of time.
Exactly. Once, I was rushing to college, and I left my phone, at home.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I was crazy, I couldn't live without, having my phone. It just becomes, a very essential part of my life.
Yeah.
Just because I need to do a lot of calls or make a lot of calls. I need to text people sometimes. It's a very important device.
And now you have the BlackBerry. People send and receive emails on the phone.
Exactly.
So it becomes very, very essential.
Yeah. It's connected, to the internet, which is another aspect, okay, to technology. So this is a very good aspect of technology. And maybe later on we'll talk about, how this technology is really impacting, our life, which is a thing that we have to take care of. But what I'm saying now is that technology is part of the modern society.
Okay.
And we have to really, do something about it in our life. And this is why now people are trying to cope with the advancement, of technology. And they try to make, cope. Let's say they're trying to buy or get every single new device, coming to the market. Okay. Because they want to know more about what's happening in the world.
And I think in terms of Islam, it's even good for us.
Yeah.
So if we give an example, let's say now if you have the latest phones, you would have the direction to Mecca.
Yeah.
So anywhere you go, you wouldn't have a problem to look for direction. You would have the call for prayers with the timings of the city that you are in.
Yeah.
So these are aspects of the technology that serves most of our aspects in Islam.
Exactly. I totally agree with you. And this is why, Islam would definitely call for such a thing, okay, because it will not affect our life. We need to look at the bright side of the story. Okay, now at this point, okay, and, we'll talk about the negative side later on, but I think that technology is playing a major role, a crucial role in our life, and we have to really admit that. Another aspect that we need to talk about is science. Okay. Now, this could include schooling, studying. Now we have something called distance learning.
Mm-hmm.
With the use of technology. Our society cannot advance without science. Okay. And now transmitting knowledge or science is becoming very easy, just unbelievable. Now you can know about what's happening in the second part of the world in a few seconds. And we are learning more things and more things. Okay, now people are becoming, open-minded. Okay, and they're becoming more educated about what's happening, in different parts of the world. And they are gaining knowledge, and they are getting degrees from different parts of the world. Now, you've been outside for sure for your degrees.
Yeah.
So you have the chance to get education, and you have lived in a society which is more advanced and adopting, modern life, form, if you want to call it. And you have seen it. It's in our life. It's in school, when you go to the library, when you go to the class, when you talk to the teacher. It's just something which is very important. Without knowledge, without science, we cannot advance. So this is another aspect of modern life, which is a positive side of the story. Yeah. And I'd like to conclude with, when talking about the positive side of the story, is Islam and entertainment.
Okay.
Yeah. It's very clear in our religion, we need to entertain ourselves. Okay.
Okay.
The Prophet,
Peace be upon
peace
him.
upon him, encourage people to take rest, to get relaxation, from time to time. Because, if we don't take that kind of entertainment and relaxation, then we'll start to get, bored, and maybe that will affect our productivity.
Okay.
Okay, so we need to have that side of entertainment. Now, there are different forms of entertainment.
Okay.
Okay. It seems that, you want to say something.
No, I just wanted you to elaborate more on this area, because now when we look at our youngsters, they focus more on the entertainment part, and it's becoming a necessity in their lives. So they leave out all the important aspects of modern life, and then they just focus on entertainment. And regardless whether this sort of entertainment is permissible in Islam or not, but the focus should be in other areas as well. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, I just agree with you. I can see on the same thing that you were talking about. The entertainment side, should be really clearly understood. Okay, it doesn't mean that we have to just leave it like that, open. Okay, and we can just take whatever is available in the market and forgetting our traditions, our culture, our teachings. I guess, we have to strike a balance, between the two. Okay, where we could get entertainment, but does not clash with the teaching of Islam. So if we can do that, then I guess, this should be a very important aspect that we have to add to our lives. And, talking about games, for example, instead of having all these, hostile games that we have in the market now, they're available. Video games, okay. We could have created some games that develop creativity. Okay, games that improve our thinking. Now
strategic games.
Exactly. Now like what they're talking about in education. Since I'm coming from that background, they're talking about something called critical thinking. Okay, and I guess with these kind of games, we are not developing critical thinking, questioning. Okay, analyzing, evaluating. We don't have this. Sometimes what's happening is that people are just trying to become like machines. The way they deal with these machines, they become part of that machines. Okay, and you cannot even distinguish between the two. So what I'm trying to say here, we have to look at the positive type of entertainment that could add a lot to our life, make us happy, never harm us. Okay, and of course will not clash with the teachings, with the principles of our religion and culture.
But there is a misconception about Islam that it's a rigid religion, and there is no room for entertainment. It's always about worship.
I mean, this is not true. There's a hadith, let me just say it first of all in Arabic, like روحوا عن نفس ساعة بعد ساعة فإن النفس إذا كلت ملت, which means we have to take a break from time to time. And taking that break, could be done differently, through entertainment, through relaxation, through entertainment. It depends on the person. So it's not something that we are against.
So like doing sports would be sort of entertainment.
Yeah, of course. It's not only we don't want to focus only on the entertainment side. On the technology side or on the machine side. This is only one aspect. Of course, drawing could be something, that we could make use of. Anything could develop, our skills, that we can use or we can practice whenever we have time. and we feel good after some time, then I guess, it shouldn't be a problem. It is a form of entertainment.
It's a form of entertainment.
But, people should understand that. They should not think that entertainment should be only directed towards video games or technology. No. You can have, different forms of entertainment. Yeah.
Ahmed will be right back after the break. Welcome back, Ahmed.
Thank you.
Now, can you please just conclude on the aspects of modern life that we just discussed about?
Okay. It's a very important thing that we should talk about how Islam really started the journey of modern life a long time ago.
Okay.
And, with the encouragement and the recommendations of the Prophet, okay, he used to encourage these people or his companions to seek knowledge so that they can bring prosperity and a change in their lives.
Okay.
And this is, was a clear in the dark time of Europe, if you want to be, to give one example, okay, where Muslims at that time, were really developed, okay, because they were invited and they were encouraged from the first place to do that.
Okay.
Okay, so they were encouraged to change their lives, okay, and that was done through knowledge. So they were seeking knowledge and they were trying to find different ways, okay, to change the way they live. Okay. So I just, this is a kind of recap, for the same phrase that we were talking about. Islam is compatible for every time.
Now, Ahmed, for sure, there are some negative aspects of modern life. What exactly can you say about that? Or do you agree with this?
Yeah. I was talking, with my friends, in America a long time ago about this. And, if I can quote them today, they were, describing, modern life, with a very negative term. For example, they were saying, rubbish or garbage, for Americans. Okay. And some of them, they were saying, modern life is a war. And I totally agree, because there is a negative side of modern life. And, there are a lot of impacts on our life. Yes, we talked about the positive side of the story. Now let's, focus on this, important side. There are a lot of examples, to show the impact that we're having from modern life. Because we don't have limits, we don't have guidelines, to show us the right way.
Okay.
Now, if you talk about the spiritual life, look, at, how much time we spend, to increase, the level of spirituality that we have. We're busy with technology. We're busy, trying to catch up with everything happening in the society. Every new device, added to the market. So that, derives us, from being, with the spiritual side of the story.
What you're trying to say is we don't have enough time for our spiritual life.
Exactly.
And people were more spiritual back then.
Exactly.
More than now.
And because of that, there's another aspect that, get affected, which is the psychological aspect, okay, which is another point that we have to talk about. Now, because of the pressure that we are living, okay, competition, you want to be educated, you want to be equipped with the latest skills, computer management, leadership, you feel that, there is so much
pressure
on you because you need to learn so much in order to cope with this life. And so that will affect, our life. This is why I was thinking about, getting a new job. And I think, a good job nowadays would be, getting a job of a counselor. Because, these people are having a lot of problems, psychological problems. They go and, see those consultants to help them, reduce the pressure they're getting, from this life. Another negative side of modern life is the social life.
Mentioning this, I remember my dad, he was complaining about this, and he was saying that in the old days, when it comes the time of, let's say, Eid or Ramadan, you would go from house to house to greet them and congratulate them for the event of Eid. But now it's all about text messages, and at least if someone calls you, but they don't even call you, they just send you a text message saying Eid Mubarak or Ramadan Kareem, and that's it.
Exactly.
So that is the social aspect is gone.
Yeah, it's really dangerous, and I'm just worried about what's going to happen in the future. It's really easing our life. Okay, we have to admit that. But at the same time, our social connections started to really decrease.
Okay.
And this is not a good sign for a good society. A good society, which could be also a good modern society or having a good modern life, should be connected. They have to have this kind of relationship based on brotherhood, and we're losing that. And we have to do something about it. And this is one aspect that I always like to talk about, along with the spiritual life. Talking about my experience outside, people are really busy, They don't go to church. They don't go to mosque. They're busy, with the materialistic, life, okay? The life of materials. And we are forgetting, the inner side of our life. And we have to really be careful about that. Otherwise we're going to have a problem in the future with the generation that they don't know how to deal with the society. It's the word society based on social. Okay, it's coming from the social root. Okay, society. So if we don't have that one, then we'll never be a society, whether it is modern or new, or whether it is old. It's not going to be a society at all.
Just look at the month of Ramadan that we're in at the moment. People change. And the social aspect becomes even better. We reduce the technological side. We don't watch TV so much, and we increase our spiritual aspect within us, and we tend to bond more with our family. We spend more time with them. So I think we should go back to that. That's what we're supposed to be.
Exactly. But Hatem, this is a very good point. But we don't have to limit ourselves, to a certain month.
This is
this is a golden chance, But we have to have this, part of our life. It's something that we have in our system. Like regardless whether it is a month of Ramadan or another month, then it's something should be part of us.
But the thing, Ahmed, that always comes onto my mind is how come in the holy month of Ramadan we do have time for family and spirituality, but the rest of the year we don't. We're just busy, and we don't know we're busy with what.
Well, sometimes it's becoming like a habit. Okay, that we are used to it. Okay, and we feel that this is the norm. This is what we have to do. Okay, and we are programmed. Okay, to feel or to believe in that way. Okay, when it comes to Ramadan, look, even the other aspect of Ramadan. People tend to relax more, which is not the right time for relaxation. Like in the month of Ramadan, when it comes to our history as Muslims, okay, we achieved a lot of things during the month of Ramadan.
True.
Okay. And, but, people now, what's happening is that they're using, the month of Ramadan.
The excuse of month of Ramadan.
To relax, which is not a good idea. And now, this is what I don't like, to see, especially when we have, brothers who are not Muslims and sisters who are not Muslims, and they see us, relaxing too much.
And becoming even more lazy.
Yeah, exactly. And this is not a good representation for their religion and the society. Why do we have to relax? It's true that, we need energy. Maybe we lack energy because we don't eat for certain hours. But it's still, we should not just, relax and do nothing. We have to
be productive.
Exactly. And we have just, to strike a balance between the two. And I guess, we, if I can I talk about, the last, aspect?
Yeah. Please go ahead.
Which is, the moral life.
Okay.
Now, with this, modern life, we're losing a lot of morality stuff, in the society. With the use of technology, with the use of, modern devices, like making movies, phones, laptops, internet, these are forms of modern life. Because of that, we are trying to use, okay, these devices of modern life to reduce the level of morality. And let me give you one example.
Yeah, please give us an example.
Now if you Google, okay, just type on Google something like ladies. Okay, a woman. Okay, the first thing that will come to you is a very degrading image of woman. Most of the websites. Why? Because the moral aspect we are having is decreasing day after day.
Okay.
Day in
which is
and day
threatening.
out. Exactly. And the use of technology, which is one form of modern life, is really negatively used now. Okay. Look at the way we deal with Bluetooth, for example. We try to, for example, to send viruses, or maybe sometimes have certain affairs that might not be accepted in our society, and even the way we respect people, okay, is one of the aspects.
They're respecting the privacy of people,
exactly,
not revealing
their
secrets
privacy,
privacy.
And we are having a big problem with that. Moral aspect of modern life is really decreasing.
What about parents who spend most of their day at work, busy coping with modern life, and the kids are raised by the television, and they get their role models from movies and cartoons and video clips, and they end up with no ethics or morals whatsoever.
I totally agree. It's a threatening thing. We have to really do something about it. I just want to say that, technology is something, I would call it, a coin with two faces or two sides. Okay. It depends on the person who is using that kind of technology.
Okay.
The use of technology, the use of any form of modern life could be harmful or beneficial based on the user.
Okay. Now, Ahmed, in conclusion, we'll just go very fast on this point. In your opinion, do you think we can live without getting involved in modern life?
Well, it's very difficult. I'm telling you.
It's very difficult.
Yeah, but I think we have to set up the guidelines and the rules that govern this kind of I would call it globalization process.
Okay.
That we need to really focus on what is good, to be added to the society, and what is to be removed, okay, from the society. And I guess that's, would be the bottom line. Okay, choose what is appropriate, for us, and leave what is not recommended to be added to the society.
So you think we can't cope going back to living in tents in the desert?
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure, we can, of course, cope with that, and I'm sure that since we did it before, we can do it again.
Brother Ahmed, thank you so much for this interesting episode. I really enjoyed it, and I hope our listeners enjoyed it as well. And hope to see you in the upcoming episodes, inshallah.
It was a complete privilege to be here with you. Thank you for the chance, and I hope that our audience, had enjoyed, the episode. Thank you.
Dear listeners, thank you so much. Be tuned for our next episode, inshallah. I'm your host, Hatem Al-Absalam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.